It's difficult to say how Manchester shaped my writing because I haven't got anything to compare it to. I can't say, well, what's it like being a southerner, being a writer? I think that just the wealth of stories that you've got in the area, so many sort of storytellers. Growing up in South Manchester when I did, there was a lot of the Irish community was around, lots of pubs, and everyone just seemed to be able to spin a yarn. So for me, that was a huge influence, and just that gauging the reaction of people. So I think it was the more people than a sort of the location of Manchester. Yes, but it's difficult because what's a Mancunian? Because I could say Morrissey, but people would say he's from Salford or he's not a Mancunian. So yes, mostly the songwriters of Manchester have had a huge influence on my writing. The likes of Morrissey, Guy Garvey, John Bramwell, obviously Noel Gallagher, loads of different people in terms of pinpointing what the Mancunian identity was. Caroline Aherne was such a huge responsibility, and I think it was the anniversary of her passing recently as well. So rest in peace, Caroline. But she was great in terms of the way she didn't parody being a Mancunian or the working class. She was very much sort of, there was a warmth with her writing. It's strange because I've read a lot of the classics, huge fan of like Hemingway, Fitzgerald, Joyce, all that sort of 1920s modernism. And when it's weird when you're reading, that can impact how your writing voice is. And the versions that I didn't even send to the publishers were like, this is just too, it's not me, it didn't feel so authentic. And when it wasn't, it was so hard to write. But then when I found, the voice, my voice or whatever on the page, it was so easy because it's just like slipping into a pair of comfortable shoes. You know what I mean? And then it's like, this feels like me. And when it doesn't become such of an effort, I think that's when the work is best. It's a lot safer, I'd say, nowadays. I don't think there's such a stereotype of the Mancunian identity as there was. I think because if you look at the likes of Liam Gallagher and Noel, they were such an overarching stereotype of what Mancunian was: Parker, swagger, haircuts. I mean, them people still exist. I think that's more on the periphery now. So I don't think you could see Manchester, what is a Mancunian now in 2024 compared to, you say, what's a Mancunian in 1996. Some stereotypes still last because that will always be the case. But I think now we certainly are a hell of a lot more of a diverse population that we celebrate, because it's always been diverse. But I think in the past, whether it was a fear or there was a lack of understanding that there was more people from different backgrounds creating stuff, nowadays everyone's like, it's difficult to catch up. Like every time, like, oh, this is the big thing coming out of Manchester. Oh no, the next week is something different, which is a great thing. I found it lots of fun. I've always wanted to write a book. It's certainly a dream fulfilled on my behalf. I didn't realise how much it would consume my day-to-day, and not even day-to-day, hour-to-hour thought, because every time I was having a conversation, be it in work or having a coffee or a pint, someone would slip something into conversation and I'd go like a light bulb would go off, and that was everything. And then I'd start asking more questions. So it was all consuming once you've got that sort of projects on your mind. It was a massive amount of relief when it was finished. A lot of them have sort of said they're glad that it isn't a book about the Haçienda, because I'm talking about my generation, and in the book it's from 97 onwards when the Haçienda closed. So there's never been this celebration of the other clubs or the other nightlife, and then people have gone, I can't believe you remembered that and this, and you sort of rejigged memories about the good and bad of going out and being young in Manchester city centre. So it's been nice just getting random messages on social media from people I don't even know, and them saying like how much they enjoyed it and they could relate to my story, and not just the nightlife, the stuff that happened during the sort of gang problems or the issues in school or the lack of anything to do outside of school. Creative, evolving, united.